Okay, I'm Gary Asay, and this is my wife Barbara. Our farming operation has changed quite a bit over the years. Early on, we were pasture farrow and finishing outside lots. We did that through the late 1990s. We switched after '98 and made some changes to the operation. For a while, we were purchasing feeder pigs and selling them. Then we got into a couple of arrangements where we were buying wean pigs and finish them in other sites. Had some other people with contract feeding for us. 2008 came along. Again, prices weren't very good, and then we made the decision to go to contract production. We put up the first building in 2008, second one in 2012. Took out a lot of variability in the hog prices and helped to give us a stable income, and it's worked good for us. Okay, these are solar panels I put up in October 2017. They're designed to produce most of the electricity I use on the farm. I set these up as I thought it was a way to help with the carbon footprint of the facility. Also, I like to blame Jennifer. That's her fault. I found out about the program to help with some funding, a grant that helped with it a little bit, and actually there's some other incentives to make it look attractive. But they've worked out pretty good, and a very efficient way of producing energy. Yes, actually the electricity that's produced, it goes into a two-way meter, and when I'm using more electricity in what they produce, I draw off the grid. When I produce more electricity than what I'm using, it goes into the grid and the system. There's a balance. It's kept with the electrical supplier, and it works back and forth. And then at the end of October every year, or actually April every year, it is netted out to zero, and we start over. But I don't sell electricity, but I use it and work with the company to balance it out. Here shows a graph of the electricity produced yesterday by the solar panels. They slide up here. You can see in different colors and the different months how much solar electricity was produced in each month and over the year's time. And also down the bottom, it tells me the equivalent of planting almost 3,200 trees, or over 420,000 pounds of CO2 saved. Okay, the trees around the facilities here, I got EQIP money to help plant the trees. Two of the sides of the building site here were planted in 2012. They were Arrowwood shrub, Norway spruce, and eastern white pine, one in each row. On the east side of the facilities here are Techie argyvita. They're planted in 2013. Again with EQIP money. We worked with them to get the right varieties and the right planting size and distance for the best results. And also, like the trees, they help as a windbreak. They also provide habitat for wildlife, and there's some research shows they help with odors. And I also think they make the location look better. Okay, there's approximately 2,480 pigs in the building here. The average weight is about 75 pounds. These pigs have just come in over the last week. They're probably in the neighborhood of about 10 to 12 weeks old. They'll be here in about 6 months of age. They'll go to market. Got approximately a little over 100 pigs per pen, and this is a small pen design building. Feed comes in on the feed lines. It fills up the feeders, then there's a pressure switch at the other end that shuts off when the bins are empty. And then there's a timer that'll wait an hour, and then it'll start up again and fill the feeders up again. The pigs are able to come up and eat from the feeder and eat as much as they want, and there's actually water in the bottom of the feeder in the pan, so they can eat and drink at the same spot. And sometimes pigs will root out the feed and mix it in the water to wet it a little bit and eat it, but very little water waste in this kind of feeder, and actually better feed efficiency than a standard feeder.
Gary's wife, Barb, help him out whenever he needs the help. And, in our hub building right now, the thing we like about our hub building is everything's automated. The feed, the water, the ventilation, the curtains go up and down as needed when the temperature dictates warmer or cooler. The feed is an interesting situation where it's stored in bins just outside. There's a sensor at the end of the feed line, about up here, that when feed is running, it will fill the tubes as it goes on down the line. When it gets to the end of the feed line, it fills the last tube up, and the sensor will shut off the motor that brings the feed. So the feed falls down in here, fills up each of the tubes, and then proceeds on down. Pigs, of course, reach down there, eat it. There's a little nipple waterer down here where they drink. It's a far sight easier than having them outside. We just got a load of pigs in this morning, just a few minutes ago. They're hot off the truck. They weigh probably about 60 or 70 pounds. Got about 570 of them. They will stay here for about 4 months till they get to market weight around 270, 280 pounds, and then we ship them back out onto market.
Okay, this is what we call a controller. It controls the environment in the hog building. You can set in the age of the pigs, and there's what's called a temperature curve, and it automatically adjusts the temperature in the building to the size of the pigs. It senses the temperature in the building. Like up here, it shows the opening of the vents in the ceiling, and then it shows the temperature, average temperature in the building in there right now, which just put some pigs in, and it's starting to warm up, and so it's going to start opening curtains here as we go and turning them off fans. You can see where the red lights are on. Those are the fans that are running at this time, and there's more fans there that can run. Curtains will lower in this kind of weather to let more fresh air, cooler air in, cool the pigs off. When it gets real warm with big pigs, Part of the curtains will go up and some will stay down. It goes in what we call tunnel mode, and all the fans on the west side of the building will turn on, and it's like blowing air through a tunnel to create a breeze through the building and help cool the pigs off. And even we'll have misters that come on and run for a little bit to mist the pigs a little bit, and as the air blows across, it helps cool those pigs down. And also when it's cold, this will turn on heaters as needed to keep the temperature at the desired level in the building. Okay, again, we used to raise a lot of pigs outside, but that meant that we had to carry a lot of straw for bedding for those animals. Quite often we were carrying them through mud or snow, carry those bales of the animals, and try to keep them dry and comfortable. A lot of times real rainy or windy. Sometimes we would have sows have their litters outside. We'd have to take and move those sows and pigs into a hut where those pigs were safe and comfortable. Again, the weather can be very variable. It's nice to see a hog out in a nice green pasture on a sunny day, but there's very few days that actually takes place. It's more disease problems outside, and it takes more feed to get those animals to market because they just have to, like in the wintertime, eat more just to maintain body temperature, let alone grow. Moving in the buildings, climate control is comfortable for those pigs. They're dry and warm in the winter and cool in the summer. Much better for the pigs and a lot more efficient in the production side. Like providing food for people to eat, but one of the best benefits that I've seen over the years, especially being involved in organizations, is the people in the pork industry. Very good people. I like working with them, and I think they're great people, and that's actually my favorite part.